Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Primitive Gatherings, and it is time for week 2 of our Pumpkin Spice Quilt-Along. So last week we did the pumpkin block, so I have all 28 of my pumpkin blocks waiting patiently till the next clue and the next clue and the next clue. There will be 8 clues total, and week 2 is the Churn Dash. So for the Churn Dash, we are using 2 blacks. One is this one with the leaf and acorn. And then the other one, I call the eyeball print. So those are the 2 blacks, and then we have 2 browns. So these are the 2 dark browns. And you will find them in your fat quarter tower. And you're going to make all of these blocks, which is, let me see here, 24 total. So we're making 6 from each one, right? 4, yep. All right. So let me do a little tutorial quickly on our block, but if you are just stumbling upon this video, we do have fabrics for sale for this, so you can go to our website and find the Pumpkin Spice Gathering Quilt-Along. You can find that on my blog, lisabongean.com, and you'll get all the information there. It tells you all what you need, how to get the patterns, how to get fabric. If you have enough fabric at home and want to try to use your own collection, we do have patterns each week for $5, and then after that week when the next one comes out, they become $8. And those are downloads, so you don't have to wait for anything to come in the mail. And we also do printed patterns as well. If you are waiting for those to come out, we will ship you a printed pattern as well. So those are some of the options. Just go to lisabongean.com and you'll find all of the information under the Pumpkin Spice Quilt-Along tab. All right, so for this block, besides the 4 fat quarters and the background that you need, we are going to use triangle paper. So this is my triangle paper, and for this particular one, we need a 3x4 section. So to do that, we are going to trim on the dotted line, like so. I'm going to do 3 sides. So this paper right now is 3x5. I only need 3x4. So I'm going to leave this line right here intact and cut a quarter or about 1/8 of an inch away from that line. So I have a cutting line there when I am done stitching. So that's what you're going to need to do to prep your half square triangles, and then you're going to read your directions, and it's going to tell you what size to cut all of your shapes. So now looking at this, you are going to layer your 2 fabrics. You're going to layer the dark and the light right sides together with the light on top, and then this piece of paper goes on top of that. And then on each, you can kind of see by the paths here, you're going to stitch on all these dashed lines with the shadow behind it. You're going to stitch every one of them, and then you're going to cut apart on all of the solid lines. So I always do the perimeter first, and then I cut rows, then I cut this way, and then I cut the diagonals. All right, so let's just pop on over here. Does this look like it's in a good spot, Kaylee? Mm-hmm. All right. So other than that, too, you're going to do, like I said, these are the half square triangles, and then you're going to do a strip to make this right here. So you're going to do 2 strips, and then you are going to cut them apart to create this unit. And then make sure I put it in the right spot so I don't mess it up. Okay, so now I've cut everything out, and then I went to the iron and I pressed them, I call it open or back, press the triangle open or back. I don't press these seams open. You can, however, if you want, but then I'm going to show you how to take the paper apart. So when you do stitch these though, you're going to lower your stitch length to about half of what you normally stitch at. So the paper will come off very nicely. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your non-dominant hand and you're going to place it right by the stitching line. And then your other hand, you're going to come in under that paper right in the middle and you're going to just pull it up. And that peels that off, and then you peel that one off. So that's what you're going to have to do to all 4 of them. And it seems like the quicker you do it, the easier it comes off. If I try to do it really slow, they don't come off easily. So you got to do it quickly. That one already had it off, just the last one here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so now I have my little design board here. There we go, ready to stitch back together. All right, so now I'm going to stitch these, and then I'm going to add that third one to each set. Now I could trim off my dog ears, but I'm just going to be lazy right now and trim them off later. Okay, I'm just going to run this through first so it doesn't unthread. All right, now I just got to double check because there was too much time passed here to make sure I got this one right. All right, there we go. Pop it back up to normal now. It was stitching a little small. Then add the last block on each row. So now, let me just look to see how I did it to make sure that I do it consistently. Okay, so in on the triangles and out on the center. So these are going to go in. Center is going out. And these are going in. All right. Looks pretty good. I didn't mess anything up this time. Right sides together. I'm going to run this one in. And a lot of times, especially when you starch fabric like we do, it's like nailed right in there. You could put a pin in there if you so wish to do so. And I like to pin towards my seam, but backed off like 1/4 of an inch so I can stitch without taking my pins out, especially if you got these big ones here. All right, so I'm going to run that through. but I'll have to admit I don't always pin. Lay that down, that one goes there, and this one I won't pin, just so I can show you how you could just run them through. I'm missing my knee lift. Gotta find it. So I'm just checking my intersections and everything looks really good. And then at this point, I like to open up these last seams, but I'm going to cut these dog ears off now, even though they would have been just fine, because I'm opening up the seam. So when you open up the seam, the black goes the black way and the cream goes the cream way. All right, so I'm going to try to move this over so you can see this, how this works. I'm going to open that up. Open both of those up, then turn it around and flatten her out. Now remember, everything I show you is just the way I do it. You can do however you want. If you want to open every seam, open every seam. I think sometimes opening them all is a little bit overkill. You don't really have to. I like things to nest. So there is my last block. So now I have 24 of them. And we are all set then with week number 2 with 24 Churn Dash blocks. I hope you are enjoying this quilt along, and I can't wait to see you next week.